What's your name and what's your game?
My name is Matt Dudgeon, and we make a game called Death Stair.
What's Death Stair?
Death Stair is a competitive stair climbing game for up to 4 people.
Out of your team, who has had the worst tumble down a flight of stairs or any amount of stairs?
The game was based off of, loosely based off one of our programmers slipping and falling down the stairs.
How did you slip?
We have carpeted stairs and we have 2 cats, and they throw themselves around that area, and he kind of tripped over one of the cats and just, that was it.
Was there any injuries from the stair fall?
Not overly, I mean more emotionally than anything else, but that's...
Maybe a little rug burn.
Yeah, carpet burn probably wouldn't have been good, but the emotional damage was unrecoverable.
So what's it like making such a game based on a personal experience and kind of putting it out there in the world?
Look, we got very close to it. It was a lot of live testing, a lot of kind of realistic experiences that led to it. But I mean, we all take pleasure in pushing Elliot down the stairs. So I suppose it was fun all the way through.
That's fun. So has it always been like a 4-player game?
Yeah, actually no, that's true. It started as a 2-player game. It was just 1v1. We got it to a point where we were like, this is fun. What if you could actually play it with more people? And that was it. And we added 2 more players. We're thinking about 8-player at some point, but that's going to get chaotic.
Yeah, so it's most of the time, I guess, it's 1 versus 3?
Yeah, absolutely. 3v1's the ideal way to play the game. It's chaotic, it's crazy. 1v1 is good, but yeah, there's more yelling, which means more fun.
And is there any unique challenges with playtesting an asymmetrical multiplayer game that you guys experienced, and what have you learned from that?
Asymmetrical multiplayer is extremely frustrating because you can't. It's a lot harder to switch it up, especially when you've got 2 different types of gameplay. It's not 3v1 where both parties are doing the same thing. 3 people are basically running a platformer, and 1 person is playing a very stylized first-person shooter. So it became quite difficult to test in the team, cycling through all the members and kind of balancing it for all kinds of different demographics, 2-player, 3-player, and 4-player, and then having different gunners who aren't good at first-person shooters, runners who aren't good at platforming games. Look, it was a challenge, but I think we ended up getting a lot of community testing done, which is where we found the most success.
Okay, where did you kind of do your community testing through?
Through the trade shows and stuff. We built a bit of a following through Twitter, and we had sign-ups to the beta at PAX East. We got about 400, 500 people interested. About 250 of them took part in a 2-week testing experience. We set up a whole heap of analytics and went crazy with it. That means it's on inverted. We set up analytics all through the game, everything from how many shots you fired to what axis you fired them, these crazy variables, and just told people to play it. We gave them all a free copy of the game that would last 2 weeks, and we just said, play it as much as you want, do whatever, play it online, play it offline. And then at the end of that 2 weeks, we just studied that data to kind of work out where we weren't balanced right, where we needed more ammo, where we didn't need more ammo, what we needed to change.
So how do you, because they're 2 kind of separate play experiences, how do you kind of devote development time to the different modes? How do you kind of keep them at, or even do you want to keep it as at a particular even playing field?
Not necessarily. I think the best thing about it was, at the end of the day, being the guy in the cannon was never about winning the game. It was about causing as much grief as you could to the other 3, and then the other 3, at the end of the day, all we had to do was make it as challenging as possible while still being winnable. Because at the end of every mode, you can trade places, which means that suddenly you get to be the gunner causing all the grief, and you kind of feel better about the fact that as a runner, you're almost born to lose, but then as the gunner, you get the opportunity to kind of face reality and cause someone else that same emotional damage.
Okay, and you've shown at PAX South, PAX East, PAX Prime, PAX Australia as well?
We did PAX Oz. That was our first one with this game at the end of last year.
So what have you kind of learned from showing us so many PAXs so soon, close to each other?
Close to each other. We showed the same build at PAX Oz and PAX South because we didn't have content that was at a stage where we were ready to show it off yet. And we found that, people love it. What we like about this game, especially in a 4-player environment, is that it works for trade shows. People want to be loud. They want to engage with their friends in an experience that they can share. So I think we built our biggest following out of the trade shows. Honestly, we got exposure through press and all this other stuff, whatever. But the trade shows is really where we embrace, and we have a lot of fun showing it off every time we come.
And I imagine like a lot of your press comes from trade shows, right?
Definitely, and YouTubers, and I mean that's just the other thing is the content creators love it too because it's silly, it's ridiculous, and people,
real dumb.
It's real dumb, but people like hearing other people get frustrated at really dumb things. So, like, if for that we met a lot of content creators and influencers who have helped us out in our launch.
So, what do you think about the content creators? Some of them, I mean, unless they're going stealth, have their own badge now. It's not press. It says content creator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that's like a good
I think so. I think it allows you to differentiate who's media to the sense that they might do an interview with you and post it on their blog or their website.
Or podcast.
Or podcast. There you go, exactly. or any other kind of avenue where you get to engage in almost one-way media to some extent. But for a content creator, I think that's where we're looking at how can we integrate it with the community, how can we look at video opportunities and opportunities to play the game in weird and wonderful ways that show it off differently. So I guess it allows me to approach each conversation in a unique way.
So you're on the 6th floor of PAX Prime 2016. How are you finding it?
I love it. I think PAX East has the best layout because it's just one big crazy hall. But what I like about the 6th floor is it's not quite so AAA. There's people go to the 4th floor because they want to see the big stuff. A lot of them come to the 6th floor to see the other stuff, the indies, the weird stuff. So we're getting a lot. I mean, that community vibe. A lot of kids and a lot of people who are looking for something weird to play. They don't want to go and play the new Halo. They want to come and play something strange.
And also, you guys have like the ability to play 16 people at your tiny booth.
We're running 4 machines because we wanted to get cozy and silly.
So you're really open for people who want to just play something weird.
Yeah, exactly right. We're going to have a controller free for them pretty much at all times.
So there's like a group of, where are you guys all from?
Australia.
Yeah, there's a group of Australians that kind of formed like a big booth.
Yes, yeah.
Were you guys like strategically staying as far away from them as possible to not be blanketed in with the other?
No, I like the guys over there. I'm good friends with a couple of the developers, but we made the decision to come to this show very last minute. So they organised that. They had the perfect amount of space. They'd done all of that, and then I emailed Guy, who's running that stuff. I was like, "Hey, so Australians at Prime," and he was like, "Yeah, it's full." And I was like, we'll go our own way. But yeah, so we grabbed a booth close to them, close enough that it wouldn't matter. But I think that's an extremely valuable opportunity. But there are people everywhere. At the end of the day, having a booth at Prime, whether it's in the back corner or front and center, we're going to get more than enough people coming through.
You're going to get a bunch of people coming through.
Like we're going to feel the positivity coming out of it. And if nothing else, it's really good for balance testing because we can see face-to-face a bunch of 2-player, 3-player, 4-player matches on different modes all going at once, and we can hear how people are reacting. It's different to watching numbers. It's really like in your face. These are the things that people like, and these are the things that people do not like.
And I also imagine if you play with them as the ball thrower or something like that, you can even test like in your own way.
Yeah. We found there's quite a separation between someone who's played it pretty non-stop for 12 months and someone who's picking it up for the first time. And so I think we really like getting in like that and finding ways that we can create it so that even a new player doesn't just lose immediately to a veteran. But there's only so much you can do in those situations.
And I mean, it's not fucking esports.
No, God, no. Absolutely not. It could be one day. No.
Maybe. No. I mean, who knows?
It's
Video
not.
games, you never know.
Exactly right. It's not an esport, and it was never designed for that. I mean, it was designed to be what it is. And I think what we're so proud of is we're not pretending to be something we're not. We are a silly 4-player competitive party game that is a terribly dumb concept. That is terribly.
I wouldn't say it's a dumb concept.
Silly, no.
It's executed in many.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very colourful. It's very silly. It's got very, very kind of silly music. I don't know. It's exactly what it comes across as.
And the name of that game again?
Death Stair.
And how do you spell that?
Death and Stair is like the objects that you climb up. as opposed to staring at you right now.
So thanks for being on the question bus.
Anytime, thank you.
And is there anything else you want to plug?
No, we're on. Well, yes, of course, the game. We're on Steam at the moment. $11.99. You can join our community Discord. It's all there on that. Head to our website, funsponge.gg.
So it was like funsponge.com taken?
No, funsponge.gg. Good game. GG is always what people write at the end of those esport matches when they're pissed off because it ended terribly, that kind of thing. GG, we just like we end.
So you like voluntarily didn't get funsponge.com?
We own funsponge.com as well.
Oh, you're on them both. And that redirects.
But funsponge.gg is the primary. Yeah.
How'd you get Funsponge? I feel like that should be some sort of like sex toy or something.
That's what we thought as well, but I mean, it's not. It's the name of our game studio now, so go figure.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you don't have any social medias?
We've got Twitter, Funsponge Games. You can find us on Facebook, Funsponge Games. But it's all from the website. If you go to deathstair.com or funsponge.gg, you'll find all the details there.
And do you have a personal Twitter?
I do. It's spongy_Matt.